Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for December the 1st, 2021. So yeah, man. Overall, man, really good show. You know, we had some great matches, man, great segments. And yeah, man, that main event, man, with Cody Rhodes and Andrade El Idolo, man, really crazy match. Beat the crap out of each other, man, beat the hell out of each other. Now, the ending to the match with the fire and the table. You know, I didn't mind the table spot. You know, I didn't mind the table being on fire. I didn't mind that, but the one thing that I was confused about was Cody. He took much of the table spot. He took much of the table, and he still won the match. Like his whole body was on fire. His whole body was on fire, and Andrade, he barely got caught on fire. And so yeah, man. But Cody, he still won the match. That's the only thing I had a problem with. But the match was fine, man. The match was great. But that part was confusing. That part was really confusing, man. Like, why did Cody have to, you know, like, why did he win like that? Like when he took most of the punishment through that table. But yeah, man, that was my only problem on the show. That was my only problem. But you know, match itself was great. You know, great spots in the match. And yeah, man, just overall, man, just a great show, man. Great show overall. And so yeah, man. So this is the AEW Dynamite review for December the 1st, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And I say this all the time, man. If you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I'm here every single week, man. I'm here on Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and then Saturdays and Sundays are for our pay-per-views, man. WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, so I'm here. And so yeah, man, so tonight for AEW Dynamite, we're live in Atlanta, Georgia. We're live in Atlanta, Georgia tonight. And so yeah, man, so yeah, Jim Ross was not on commentary tonight. He's going through skin cancer, so thoughts and prayers to JR. Start off the show, man, we had Hangman Adam Page, who is the AEW World Champion, came out to the ring. Or he came out to join commentary for the first match of the night. And so, yeah, so the first match of the night, we had Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Bryan Danielson versus Allin 5 Angels, representing the Dark Order. And a hometown boy. Allin 5 Angels is a hometown boy from Atlanta, Georgia. And so, yeah, man, so the crowd cheered on Angels. And so, yeah, so Angels, he got some offense in the match, hit chops on Bryan. And then Bryan ended up fighting back and hit a series of strikes to Angels. And so Bryan took control of the match. And so Angels, he fought back. And so, yeah, and so Angels hit a tope suicida to Bryan, followed up by outside moonsault. So that was a nice move. And then he had a standing Spanish fly. Standing Spanish fly to Bryan. And then Bryan kicked out of the move. And so Angels, he went for a missile, or not a missile drop kick, a moonsault. He went for a diving moonsault, but he missed. And so yeah, so Bryan had a running knee. He had a running knee to Angel's, and then yeah, he followed it up with repeated stomps to Angel's face. And so yeah, so Bryan, just like last week, man, he flexed. He flexed before he hit his submission move. So last week he won with the label lock, right? He won with the label lock last week. But this week he won with the heel hook. So that's another one of his finishing moves. So he won with the heel hook, and so therefore Angels tapped out. So therefore Bryan wins the match. And so yeah, right after the match, Bryan, he still had the lock hold in. He still had the heel hook locked on. And so Bryan, he was still flexing. He was still flexing and everything. And eventually he did let go of the hold. So yeah, so Bryan Danielson wins the match. Really good match, man. Really good match. And I'm telling you, man, I love this new Bryan Danielson. I love it, man. Absolutely love it, man. He could be a great babyface and a great heel, man. Like, is there anything that Bryan can't do, man? Bryan Danielson is great, man. Really great. And so yeah, so right after the match, man, we had Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone interviews Bryan Danielson in the middle of the ring.
Bryan Danielson.
All right, Bryan Danielson, in 2 weeks, winter's coming, you'll get that world title shot. And for what we have seen, my goodness, what you did, you're more than ready.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because if that's the best Atlanta's got, I whooped his ass. And not only did I kick his head in, I'm pretty sure I snapped his MCL. Not that any of you know what that means, but last week, I knocked out Colt Cabana's tooth. This week, I tore Allin Angel's MCL. Next week, I hear there's a Dark Order member from Long Island, and I'm gonna stomp his head in too. And then Hangman. In 2 weeks, in Dallas, Texas, home of the Cowboys. That is where I take your AEW World Championship. That is where I show the entire world that you are a one-hit wonder. That's where I show the entire world it's not cowboy shit, but it's coward shit.
All right,
that's
well,
where
enough of
I
this.
show
Come on,
the
maybe
world.
that too.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Whoa, Hangman.
So yeah, so John Silver came out. John Silver came out to stop Hangman Adam Page from attacking Bryan.
Hangman. We all know that you cannot touch Bryan tonight. But guess what?
What?
I can touch Bryan tonight. And that's what I'm gonna do.
The dude ran to the ring.
Making a beeline to the ring.
Oh man.
Charging right. Oh, and look at this. Danielson just
And Bryan got out of the ring, man.
bails out. Talk
You
about
think
a coward.
I'm gonna share the ring with this joke? This joke? He's beneath me, just like you're beneath me. And you know the word. You know Tony Khan said that we can't touch today. And that you'll be suspended if you do. And man, I would love to slap you in the face in front of all these people.
Do it, huh?
But these jerks don't deserve to see it.
And that was it, man. That was it. He dropped the microphone and left, man. I'm telling you, man. Bryan, man, he is such a great heel, man. Such a great heel. He's a great babyface and a great heel, man. Like he could play both parts really well. That's how great Daniel Bryan is. Or Bryan Danielson. His name is Bryan Danielson. That's how great Bryan Danielson is, man. Yeah, I can't wait for this, man. I cannot wait for this. So yeah, man. So winter is coming. Winter is coming in Dallas, Texas. It's gonna be Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship in 2 weeks. So yeah, man. So Bryan, he's gonna get his first loss. He's gonna get his first loss in AEW because he's not gonna beat Page for that title because Page just won the title. And so yeah, man. Next week is gonna be Bryan Danielson versus John Silver. So next week we'll be live in Long Island, New York, hometown of John Silver. So yeah, man. So that should be a really great match, man. And so yeah, man. So that was it, man. Oh yeah, and another thing, man, with Bryan, I love how he's going, like he's taking out each Dark Order member one by one in their hometown. So that's really, really nice, man. Really cool. So yeah, man. So yeah, that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Miro. We had God's Forsaken champion Miro had a vignette and he spoke.
I've been here for weeks trying to figure out what should I do. What does a man do when his weakness literally separates his head and his heart? What should I do? And then the vision came to me. So my God, thank you for showing me, for teaching me, for revealing to me what you really are.
Oh.
The line is being drawn, and the Redeemer will storm the gates of heaven, and the floor will turn red. You pushed me out while I was looking for love, but now I will bring fear. I only have two weaknesses in my life. One I will repair, but the second one I will embrace. This is the word of the Redeemer.
And so yeah, man. So that was it, man. That was it with Miro. So yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a match, and it was Lee Moriarty versus CM Punk. And so yeah, man, when right after Lee made his entrance, we had CM Punk came out, and so CM Punk made his entrance, and so MJF, man, interrupted CM Punk with his theme music. So he interrupted Punk's entrance, and so yeah, man, so the crowd booed, man. The crowd booed. MJF is a freaking prick, man, freaking prick. So yeah, he interrupted CM Punk with his theme music and everything, and so he joined the commentary team. And so yeah, man, so Lee and Punk, they shook hands to start off the match. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were chain wrestling. Lee got most of the offense in his match, so he looked really well against Punk. And so yeah, man, and so Punk hit a leg lariat to Lee, and he hit a springboard drop kick to Lee, or a springboard clothesline rather to Lee. And so yeah, so Punk, he had to control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so Lee, he went right after Punk's arm. And so yeah, and then we had a version of a crossface submission move to Punk, but Punk put his foot on the rope. And so yeah, man, so we had a top rope hurricanrana to Lee, and then Lee had turned it into a roll up. And so we had a series of reversals from both of these guys. And so yeah, so Punk hit Lee with a roundhouse kick. And so MJF the entire match, man, the entire time on commentary, he kept poking fun of CM Punk because he was struggling against Lee. Lee Moriarty, he had a Pepsi twist. He had a Pepsi twist to Punk. So one of Punk's old moves. Lee hit a Falcon's Arrow, a version of a Falcon's Arrow or Michinoku driver to Punk for a damn near fall, man. He had him in a deep cover, and Punk barely kicked out. And so, yeah, man, so to end the match, man, we had Punk hit the go to sleep to Lee to win the match. So, therefore, CM Punk wins the match. And so, yeah, man, so that was pretty much it with that, man. Really great match. And, yeah, even in defeat, man, Lee still won the match. In defeat, he still won the match because you in the ring with CM Punk, dude. In the ring with CM Punk, and CM Punk made every single person that he been in the ring with, he made them look better. And so yeah, man. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had after the match, we had MJF. He was on commentary. He grabbed the microphone and he spoke to CM Punk.
Listen, last week you said you were disappointed in me, and that's interesting because honestly, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. I am. It takes a lot of balls to come out here and claim to be the best in the world when you're struggling to beat the likes of QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty. I guess the only thing you're the best in the world at nowadays is trying to get in Britt Baker's pants.
Wow. Adam Cole is not going to like that,
What's
man.
the matter, PG Punk? You look unamused. Coincidentally, that's exactly what Britt would look like if you got her in the bedroom.
Oh, no.
Buddy, you ain't CM Punk. You're one pump chump.
Oh, man, dude, this dude right here is a damn fool, man, MJF.
That's cute, Georgia. It's
Hey, shut up. You shut up, I'll shut up, Bring your little needle dick into this ring right now, and I'll kick your ass all the way back to Long Island.
Wow. Needle.
Let's do it right now here
You
in
want to
Atlanta.
see me and CM Punk go at it?
But too bad.
Too bad.
Oh man. So yeah, so MJF was talking a lot of trash. He was promoting the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And so yeah, so he was talking trash to Punk, and so he backed away from Punk. CM Punk went right there. MJF, and so Wardlow had came out and stepped between the both of them, and so he was stopping Punk from trying to get to MJF, and so that was pretty much it with that, man. And so they had to separate the two. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. That was it with that. And so yeah, man, so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He was backstage. He interviews Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, who is the AEW Women's World Champion, with Jamie Hayter and Rebel in her corner.
The Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, who is still very, very upset.
Upset is an understatement. It was absolutely disgusting what Tony Khan did to me on our Thanksgiving show, making me wrestle Riho, who cheated, stole a win, and now gets a shot at my title belt. Absolutely disgusting.
Jamie, where were you on our Friendsgiving celebration?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was too busy having one of the best matches in the TBS tournament.
Which you lost.
Wow.
Okay, Britt. Didn't you have one of your best matches with Thunder Rosa, which you also lost? So.
Wow.
Okay, guys. Free therapy for everybody here. Don't focus on the past. It doesn't matter. We're here in the present. And over the holiday, Team DMD had a little kumbaya, and we are back on track, ladies and gentlemen. Great news. Jamie Hayter will be taking on Riho next week on AEW Dynamite in an absolute slaughter fest. And if there's anything left to poor little Riho after Jamie's done with her,
Nothing.
she can have her shot at my championship title belt, but I don't think so. Yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D.
And so yeah, man, so that was it. That was it with that. So yeah, man, so we have a match. So we have a match with Dr. Britt Baker, or not Dr. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter versus Riho next week on AEW Dynamite. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Adam Cole. He came out to the ring. He went to the ring first, and then he went to commentary. So I thought that we were gonna see a match between Orange Cassidy and somebody else, but yeah, we didn't get that. So yeah, so Cole was on commentary, and so Orange Cassidy, his theme music had played, and so yeah, man, so Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy, they were in each other's face, so they got face to face, and so they were face to face, and so the Bucks that came out, they tried to sneak attack Orange Cassidy, but Cassidy, he felt the footsteps, and so he turned around, and so he started giving the Bucks the most devastating kicks, and so yeah, man, Adam Cole from behind, he had a low blow to Orange. And so we had the Bucks, man. This is the funniest thing about this. We had the Bucks. They were giving the most devastating super kicks to Orange Cassidy, like over and over and over again. And then they actually gave him a super kick, double super kicks to Orange Cassidy. And so yeah, so they try to go for the BTE trigger. Cole and the Bucks, they try to go for the BTE trigger on Cassidy, but the Best Friends had came out to chase off the Elite, or the super click rather, the super click. And so yeah, and at that point I was like, man, what took them so long to come out? The second that the Bucks came out, they should have been out there. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't come out earlier, but yeah, man. So that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had a vignette. We had a vignette of Tony Nese, the premier athlete, Tony Nese. So he spoke.
Before I was rudely interrupted last week, I was saying how Sammy Guevara does not deserve to be TNT champion.
There's an open challenge.
Yeah,
I challenge you next week.
I accept. And come Friday on Rampage, I'm gonna change all of that. And we're gonna put the TNT championship around a premier athlete's waist. Sammy, you learned a valuable lesson when you got in my face last week. And you think kneeling on your ribs was bad? Wait until what I do to those ribs come Friday. See you in the ring.
And so yeah, man, that was it from Tony Nese. So of course it's gonna be Tony Nese versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship on Rampage. So yeah, man, a match that should have been on Dynamite, man. So yeah, I would have actually put it on next week's Dynamite, since Next week is going to be in Long Island, and I believe Tony Nese is from Long Island, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it would have been a perfect setting to put it on next week's Dynamite. But yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had Wardlow. We had Wardlow with Shawn Spears in his corner versus AC Adams. So yeah, this is a squash match, man. We had Wardlow, he had 4 power bombs to Adams to win the match, so therefore Wardlow wins the match. And so right after the match, man, we had Spears, Shawn Spears, he hit Adams with the chair over and over and over again, and that was it, man. That was it. So they walked off. And yeah, so right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews the Death Triangle. So that's Pentagon, who was one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, and Pac with Alex Abrahantes. And so yeah, so Ray Phoenix, he wasn't there because he got hurt.
We're back on Dynamite, and Friday on Rampage, it was supposed to be FTR against Penta and Ray Phoenix. Injury to Ray Phoenix, unable to travel, and now will be Penta and Pac.
FTR, me hubiera encantado ganarles una lucha de 2 de 3 caídas, pero lastimaron a mi hermano. Pero encontré al mejor aliado, Pac.
Penta says, FTR, we would have loved to defeat you twice in one night, but since you took it upon yourself to hurt my brother, we've got the best ally that we can find in Pac.
Pac, I need to say, after the attack by Malachi Black on your eye, the Black Mist, can you wrestle Friday night?
Tony. Am I an invalid?
No.
I am good to fight, you understand? Yeah. Look into my eye. Settle!
And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. So it's gonna be Pentagon and Pac versus FTR on Rampage, man. It's coming Friday, so that should be really good. So yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Gunn Club. Billy and Colten Gunn with Austin Gunn in their corner versus Darby Allin and Sting, man. So yeah, man. So this is kind of like a father and son versus a father and son, so to speak. You know, Sting, even though Sting and Darby Allin are not related, Sting is like a father figure to Darby, and of course, Colten and Billy Gunn, they're related in real life, so kind of like a father and son versus a father and son. So yeah, man. So we had Taz with Hook, Taz and Will Hobbs and Hook. They were on commentary, and so yeah, man. So Sting and Darby Allin, they had a mixture of their face paint painted on each other. So yeah, man. So yeah, Darby, he took control of the match, the first part of the match, and so Sting and Billy Gunn, they went back and forth when they were in the ring. And so yeah, Billy, he started throwing Darby around, and then the heels took control of the match at that point during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And then we had a hot tag to Sting, and then Sting took out the Gun Club. He had stinger splashes on the Gun Club. And so yeah, so Sting hit a spine buster to Colten. And so Sting had locked in the Scorpion Deathlock on Colten. And then Billy Gunn got in the ring to try to distract the referee, and the referee was distracted. And so Austin, who wasn't in the match, attacked Sting from behind. I think he sucker punched him. And so yeah, man, so Darby saw it, and so he hit Austin with a tope suicida, man. Knocked his lights out, man, with that tope suicida, man. Billy Gunn hit a famous on Sting, and so Sting got kicked out. And so that was a close one right there, man. I thought that was it. And so yeah, man, so Darby hit a tope suicida. He hit another tope suicida, but this time on Billy Gunn. So that was as explosive as the first one, man. And so yeah, so to end the match, man, we had a Scorpion Death Drop to Colten Gunn from Sting to win the match. So therefore, Darby Allin and Sting wins the match. And so yeah, man, that was it with that, man. Great stuff, man. Darby, man, he is a freaking maniac, dude. A freaking maniac. And then, like, in the match, man, he was bleeding on top of his head. So I don't know if it came from that first tope suicida. It probably was from that first tope suicida. But yeah, man, Darby is crazy, man. Really crazy. I predicted that they'll win this match. There was no way that Darby Allin and Sting were going to lose this match. No way they were going to lose. But I would send these guys after the tag team titles, man. Send them after the tag team titles. I said this last week. They've been getting wins, and ever since they've been together, they never lost. They never lost in a tag team match. So why not send them after the tag team titles? You know, they'll be great contenders for those tag team titles. But yeah, man, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. They have enough wins to go after those titles. Just send them after the titles. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had a backstage segment. So Alex Marvez, he was backstage. He interviews Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
Jericho, you came to Eddie Kingston's aid last week on right.
Oh, let's just stop right there, Marvez, okay? I want to make something perfectly clear. I did not come to Eddie Kingston's aid last week on Rampage. You heard him yelling and screaming that he didn't want my help. Well, I wasn't there to help Eddie Kingston. I was out there to take out 2.0. That's the problem, okay? I was out there to take out Daniel Garcia and Jeff Parker and squarehead Matt Lee. Those are the sons of bitches.
Oh. So yeah, so 2.0 came in, they attacked Jericho, and they hit him with a chair. They hit him with a freaking chair.
Oh my God, a 3-on-1 assault on Jericho.
Say it again.
So yeah, it was a 3-on-1 beatdown from the 2.0 guys and Daniel Garcia. So yeah, man, at that point I was like, man, where was the inner circle? Where was the inner circle? That's what I was thinking. But, you know, Sammy's tied up with Tony Nese in the TNT title. Jake Hager, I don't know what he's doing. Probably getting ready for his fight. And yeah, man, and Santana and Ortiz, I would have sent them out there. I would have sent them after the 2.0 guys. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Where was the inner circle? But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Lio Rush. Lio Rush, he came out to the ring. Lio Rush came out to the ring and he confronted Team Taz, who was on commentary.
I'm a fighter. Deep down, you know that I'm a fighter. Hell, these people know that I am a fighter. So you better believe me when I say I won't be going down without a fight, even if that means that I have 1% chance.
My man, you might as well just retire.
Wow.
Take a look at this.
Dante Martin came out.
Oh, Dante Martin, Lio Rush's former client and absolute Ricky Starks, the FTW champion.
I can't. I really am stunned. Still stunned.
And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. So they stared down Lio Rush. So yeah, they were basically promoting that Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, and how Team Taz has a high chance on winning the match because they have more guys in Team Taz. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was it, man. So that Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal is next week. I don't know for sure who's all in it, but yeah, man. MJF, he's gonna retain. He's gonna retain that Dynamite Diamond ring. No, nobody is taking that ring from MJF, man. So yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Smart Mark Sterling. We had Smart Mark Sterling and Jade Cargill. They were backstage and they spoke about the TBS title eliminator tournament match.
Congratulations, Thunder Rosa, on advancing into the semifinals of the TBS Championship Tournament. But do you think you actually have a shot at the uncrowned Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. But we put out a challenge for this Friday on Rampage.
My show.
And it was answered, coincidentally, by Thunder Rosa's student,
Who?
Janai Kai.
Who? Light work. Okay.
Well,
Mira.
come on.
Thunder Rosa came in.
Muchísimas gracias por las felicitaciones, but I'm here to tell you that Chris Jericho is not going to be here for Rampage. So they asked me, because I'm multi-talented, to be the commentator for Rampage, and they allowed me to choose one match.
All right.
And I picked your match, Jade.
Perfect.
Great.
And I cannot wait for Janai Kai, my student, que te partan todas las
We're not even getting paid.
No tienes respeto a mí, no le tienes respeto a nadie, porque te crees la Rookie of the Year. Cállate con tus babosadas esas.
And so yeah, man, that was it. That was it with that. So yeah, Chris Jericho, he was taken out earlier, so Jericho is not going to be on commentary for Rampage. So Thunder Rosa will be on commentary on Rampage for that Jade Cargill match. And so yeah, man, so that was it, man. So that was it with that. And so yeah, so Jade Cargill, another person that's in this eliminated tournament match. So yeah, man, so yeah, I think Jade Cargill, she's gonna make it in the finals. She's gonna go to the finals. She's gonna go to the finals, and she's gonna lose. She's gonna have her first loss, but it's gonna be in that finals match. So that would be a great time to have her first loss to be in the finals of a tournament for a championship. That's what I think. But yeah, man. So yeah, speaking of the TBS Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament match, we had the quarterfinals. We had the quarterfinals, we had the finals of the quarter round of the TBS Women's Championship Title Eliminator match, and it is Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. And so yeah, man. So Taz on commentary, man. was singing along to Ruby Soho's theme music, so that was really funny, man. And so yeah, so Statlander and Soho, they try to one up each other. And so yeah, so Ruby hit a flatliner to Statlander. Ruby hit a flatliner to Statlander, and then she kicked out of the move. And so yeah, this match started off slow, but everything started to pick up. And so Ruby, she took control of the match during the commercial break, picture-in-picture. And so yeah, man, so Ruby hit a diving senton to Statlander, and she kicked out. And then so Statlander hit a blue thunder bomb to Ruby, and Ruby kicked out. And so yeah, Statlander hit a buckle bomb to Ruby, followed up by a Mikanotru driver for a damn near fall, man. And so yeah, so Ruby hit a poison rana. She had a poison rana on Statlander, which was wicked. And so yeah, and then Ruby hit a Hurricane Rana, turning into a face buster. And then Statlander had kicked out of the move, and so Ruby Soho could not believe it. She could not believe it. You saw it on a look on her face. She could not believe it. And so yeah, man. And we had reversals after reversals after reversal from both of these ladies. And so yeah, man. So we had a roll up to Statlander. To win the match. So therefore, Ruby Soho wins the match and will advance to the next round of the TBS Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament match to face Nyla Rose. And so yeah, so right after the match, Soho, she was celebrating, and so Soho and Statlander, they shook hands, and so Statlander, she had walked up the stage, and so Vicky Guerrero had came out, and so she started arguing with Chris Statlander. And so yeah, so right from behind, we had Nyla Rose. She attacked Ruby Soho from behind. And so yeah, and so Chris Statlander went to go chase off Nyla Rose, and so Nyla Rose had got out of the ring. And so that was pretty much it with that. So they were basically setting up their match, Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho. And so yeah, man, so that was it, man. That was it with that. Now, before we get into the main event, man, let's talk about next week's show, and let's talk about Rampage's show. So yeah, man, so yeah, we do have the updated TBS Women's Championship Tournament bracket, and it's going to be Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill in the semifinals, and we have Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho. Now, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, man, Jade Cargill, she's going to beat Thunder Rosa and go to the finals. And I said this time and time again, Ruby Soho, she's going to win the whole entire tournament. So she's going to beat Nyla Rose, go to the finals, and then beat Jade Cargill and give Jade Cargill her first loss and have Ruby Soho become the first ever TBS Women's Champion. So yeah, man, so that's what I would do. So yeah, for Rampage, we have Pac and Pentagon. Pentagon, who is the one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions, versus FTR. So that's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Tully Blanchard in their corner. And so yeah, man. So Pac and Pentagon with Alex Abrahantes in their corner versus FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Tully Blanchard in their corner. FTR, who are the AAA Tag Team Champions. And also we have for the TNT Championship, is going to be on Rampage. It's going to be Sammy Guevara, the Spanish guy who is the TNT Champion, reigning and defending TNT Champion, versus Tony Nese, the Premier Athlete. And also we have Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, she'll be in action. She'll have a match on Rampage, and Thunder Rosa will be on commentary for that match. And also we have next week on Dynamite, we have the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And also we have Jamie Hayter. We have Jamie Hayter versus Riho on Dynamite. And also on Dynamite we have Bryan Danielson versus John Silver, representing the Dark Order in Long Island, New York. And also in 2 weeks, winter is coming in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. So Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Champion, versus Bryan Danielson, the #1 contender, in 2 weeks for the AEW World Championship on December the 15th. So yeah, man, should be really good, man. Should be a really good match. And so yeah, man, so that's everything that was announced for Rampage and for Dynamite, and then winter is coming. So yeah, man, so now it's time for the main event. So yeah, man, so the main event, we had the Atlanta Street Fight, and it was Andrade El Idolo with Jose, the assistant, in his corner, versus Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson in his corner. So yeah, man, Andrade, man, when Andrade came out to the ring, man, this dude was holding a freaking dagger in his hand. Badass, man, really badass. And so yeah, man, so Cody Rhodes, it was his hometown in Atlanta, Georgia. So Cody, he got a mixed reaction. Got a mixed reaction in his own hometown. Like half of the crowd was cheering for him and the other half was booing. It felt like it was mostly boos. So yeah, man, so Cody was making his entrance, and then Andrade El Idolo came in and attacked Cody up the stage ramp, and then Arn Anderson, he fell. Arn Anderson had fell, and so Jose had to help him up. So they ended up fighting each other. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Cody and Andrade, they fought in the crowd. And so yeah, Andrade had dropped Cody on the edge of the steel steps, face first. And so we saw T-Pain, the rapper T-Pain. He was there, and of course he's a part of that Go Big Show on TBS, the Go Big Show on TBS. I think the season 2. So he's gonna be there. So he was there, and so yeah, so he handed Cody a chair, and so Cody, he used the chair, and so Andrade, he low blow Cody, and then Andrade had grabbed Cody's weight belt, and he whipped Cody Rhodes with the belt, and so he threw the weight belt in the crowd. And so a fan had caught the belt, and so the crowd started chanting to this fan to throw the belt back, and so the fan didn't, and so the crowd had booed the fan. And so yeah, I don't blame the fan. I don't blame the fan at all. I will keep that belt. Like, if the wrestler threw a merchandise in the crowd and I caught it, I'm holding on to it. I'm not about to throw it back in the ring. It's mine. So yeah, man. So yeah, the crowd had booed that fan, and so we had a laptop. So Andrade pulled out a laptop from his bag, and so he hit Cody Rhodes with the laptop. And so he hit Cody with a chair too. He hit Cody Rhodes with a chair, and so Andrade hit a split leg moonsault to Cody on a chair. So that was really nice. And Cody had kicked out of the move, of course. And so yeah, Cody had gave Andrade a low blow, and the crowd had booed, and it's legal, but still a heel move. But yeah, so Andrade, he had knocked Cody Rhodes off of the top rope at one point onto the floor. And so Cody, he threw a chair right in Andrade's face in midair when Andrade went for that moonsault. And so yeah, man, so Cody had grabbed the chain and wrapped it around his fist and blasted Andrade El Idolo with the chain around his fist. Andrade El Idolo gave Cody Rhodes a chair shot in midair off of a tope suicida. And so yeah, man, so Andrade, he had ripped up the outside ring mat. And so yeah, at that point Cody Rhodes, he was bleeding. And so Cody Rhodes had dropped Andrade on the floor, on the exposed floor. And so yeah, man, so Cody he went under the ring, pulled out a kendo stick, and he threw it away. And he pulled out a sledgehammer, and the crowd had popped. And so yeah, he put the sledgehammer away. And so the commentary team had said, yeah, you don't want to use that. And so yeah, I laughed at that, man. That was funny. And so yeah, man, and so Cody, he had pulled out a golden shovel, man, a golden shovel. Like a golden shovel, dude. The last thing I would expect on a wrestling ring, was a golden shovel, man. So yeah, man, that got a huge pop, man. And so yeah, man, so Cody, Jose the assistant, he had came out, and so Cody had hit Jose with the golden shovel. Yeah, hit him with the golden shovel, and so Cody had put the golden shovel away. And so yeah, man, so Andrade, he had an escalera to Cody outside of the ring over the top rope. And so yeah, man, so got back into the ring. Andrade El Idolo hit a Meteora to Cody in the corner with the chair, and so Cody kicked out in the move. And so Andrade put out a table, and so Andrade hit a hip toss to Cody through the table in the corner. And so yeah, so Andrade put out another table, set it up in the corner. And so yeah, and so we had a hooded person. We had one person came out wearing a hood, a AEW hoodie. And so yeah, it was Brandy Rose. So Brandy Rose was wearing a hoodie, and so she unmasked herself. Unmasked herself, and it was Brandy Rhodes. And so yeah, so she had lighter fluid, and so she started spraying the fluid all over the table. I think she had about 2 of them, and so she started spraying it on the table. She got a lighter, and she set the table on fire. So the table was on fire. And so yeah, man, so Andrade and Cody was both fighting on the top rope. And so yeah, man, so Cody, he had a reverse superplex. He had a reverse superplex to Andrade through the table. And as I mentioned earlier, Cody, all his body hit that table. All his body hit that flaming table. And so Cody, his whole body was on fire. His back was on fire. And I think that was what that stuff was on his back for. To, I guess, ease the pain of the fire. Because at first I was wondering, man, it looked like it was dead skin on his back or something like that. I was like, man, what is that stuff on his back from earlier? The stuff that was on his back, I guess that was for the table spot. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was the one thing that confused me. So he went through the table. They both went through the table. Andrade, he barely hit the table. But he did have like a little bit of fire on him. The fire particles had caught on Andrade a little bit on his chest, and so that's all. But Cody, he was on fire. Cody was the main one on fire, and so he covered Andrade for the win. So Cody Rhodes win the match. Cody Rhodes wins the match, and I didn't understand that. I really didn't understand it. He went through the table. He went through a flaming table, dude. Dude was on fire, and he still picked up the win. Andrade was not on fire. I understand that both of them were on fire, but both of them were not on fire. They were not on fire. Only Cody was on fire. So yeah, if they were both on fire, I probably would, I would have understand that. I would have understand that. But Cody was the main one on fire. Andrade was not on fire. So yeah, man. So yeah, weird, really weird, man, really weird. But the match itself was great. The match itself was great. They beat the hell out of each other, man. They killed each other, really did. But this ending, man, with the Cody Rhodes going through the table, getting most of the table shot and not Andrade. Yeah, man, really weird, man. But yeah, man, yeah. And then another thing with Brandi Rhodes, man. Brandi Rhodes, she got involved in the match. She helped Cody Rhodes win the match, which is a heel move, man. A heel move. Andrade, he didn't get any help. Well, I guess Jose would count, but you usually wouldn't see a babyface do something like that. So that was kind of like a heel move. And then another thing, like right after the match, if you guys saw Brandi Rhodes' face right after the match, she had like a sinister look on her face. So signs, I guess they could be signs to a heel turn. I would turn Cody Rhodes into a heel. I would turn him into a heel. You had a fan in the crowd that had a sign that said "Turn Cody, turn." That's what I would do, man. That's what I would do. Just turn this dude into a heel, man. Just turn him to a heel. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him as a babyface. Like nobody likes him as a babyface. It is so tiresome. It is tiresome seeing him as a babyface. Nobody wants to see him as a babyface. We want to see him as a heel. And we know Cody Rhodes can be a great heel. He was a heel in Impact Wrestling and on the Indies. Right after he left the WWE, he went to Impact for a little bit. He was a heel in Impact, talking down to people. He was a heel in Ring of Honor, So he was a great heel, man. Turn him back into that Cody Rhodes. And he had the whole ring. He had the ring on his finger, and he was making people kiss his ring and all that stuff. I remember that stuff. But yeah, man. But yeah, turn him into a heel already, man. Turn him into a heel, and I think the crowd will love it. The crowd will love it if Cody Rhodes will turn into a heel, and he'll get a better reaction. He'll get a better reaction if he turn heel. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with the show. That was it with the main event, and that was it with the show. Overall, really good show. Great stuff. Great matches. The main event, really great match. Didn't like the ending so much. Did not like the ending so much with Cody Rhodes taking much of the table spot and not Andrade. Just the outcome I didn't understand. I didn't like the outcome of the match, but I did love the match. The match was great, but the outcome of the match, I didn't like it. But yeah, man, so that was it. That was it with the show. And yeah, man, if you like the video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching D Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I am here each and every single week. I'm here on Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, of course, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and then Saturdays and Sundays are for our pay-per-views, man. WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. If you missed last week's review of AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And that video right there, man, go back and watch that video, man. Go back and watch that video. The most viewed AEW Dynamite video I've ever had, man. 1,300 views on that video. 1,300 views on that video. I appreciate everybody that hit the thumbs up on that video. Everybody that commented on the video. I appreciate everybody that gave me support, man. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all of you guys. And the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click it. If you missed it, click up here or click down below. And yeah, man. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for Impact Wrestling. Not going to be able to watch Impact Wrestling live because I have wrestling training. So I'll watch it the next day on Friday morning. So yeah, man. So I'll see you guys then for Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. Oh yeah, Pro Wrestling Crate. I'll see you guys on another time for Pro Wrestling Crate. Yeah, Pro Wrestling Crate. Might be on Friday. Might be on Saturday. But yeah, man. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. But I'll definitely see you guys for Impact Wrestling. And I'll see you guys for Pro Wrestling Crate. The Pro Wrestling Crate unboxing for November. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, as always, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, commenting down below. Thank you guys for everything. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And yeah, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.